What up, everybody? It's your boy CJ.
And it's your boy Tim.
Welcome back to the Say It Loud podcast. Say it loud.
Black and proud.
Yo, first of all, happy Black History Month.
I'm
there
black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all.
Hey,
and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
Hey,
And
quick question. Because I be seeing stuff online, and I be saying stuff. What is the line? Is it I'm blackety, black, y'all? Or is it I'm blacker than black? Because I've seen it spelled out. I'm blacker than, and I was like, that's hard to say. I don't like that.
I guess it sounds either way. Like I'm blackety black and I'm black, y'all, or I'm blacker than black and I'm black, y'all.
I like blackety, black,
y'all.
Hey,
Blickety black.
Because with that you could do the record sound, the blickety black.
That's how he did. That's how he did it in the movie. So I'm just saying.
Hey, yeah. But happy Black History Month, y'all. We out here. We still.
Blackface.
Right. We still are on the shortest month of the year, but whatever.
All power to the people.
There it is. Let me show y'all my shirt available now at hustlermentality.com. I am Black History. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. And as Kanye put and Dave Chappelle supported, it's Black Future Month. Black Futurist Month? Black Future Month? Something like that.
Look, man.
You know, like that.
I get what they're trying to do, but we ain't gonna just forget the events that happened in our history.
Yeah, no,
we ain't gonna forget. Ain't gonna be like, let's just not talk about anything. Let's just look to the future. Yeah, I get it, and I want to do that, but at the same token, I ain't gonna forget about our ancestors and the people that came before us that died.
I mean, that's what they're trying to do with the school anyway. Is not teach anything. So
nope.
Yeah, I like Black history. We need to learn the history. I'm all for the future, but that's what we do on a daily basis. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Supposed to support Black business, huh? Supposed to support the movement,
right,
on a daily basis,
right.
But yeah, we definitely want to get that out there. Say happy Black History Month,
right?
Black folks, hope you're blacking out there.
Yeah. Although I believe it shouldn't just be on 1 month. I think we need to just have Black history all year round. Need to be taught in schools more fervently, and us as Black people in the Black community need to just have that knowledge ingrained in us, even from our past, present, and our future. That needs to be. We need to know and understand where we came from in order to get where we're going. Amen.
Amen.
So I just believe that we always have to hold our ancestors and all the people that came before us, the organizations that came before us. We have to hold them to a high esteem because they didn't have to do what they did. Rosa Parks didn't have to stand up. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to. She didn't have to sit down. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I am sleepy.
No, it's fine.
She didn't have to sit down, and she didn't have to not move. She could have got up with everybody else, but no, she stood her ground and kept her seat. She didn't have to do that. Martin Luther King didn't have to lead a march on Washington. Martin Luther King didn't have to go to jail all those bunch of times just to prove a point. Malcolm X didn't have to put his whole life on the line just so we can get some freedom. You know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party didn't have to get formed in order for us to have some confidence about ourselves to take care of our own community. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. These things did have to happen.
They had to, but they didn't have to. It's a thing.
I don't agree with you.
It starts with a personal choice. I'm saying the people, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Bobby Seale,
and for the record, y'all, these are the people that get talked about all the time that are in front. But there were countless others that
absolutely
did this.
Absolutely. These are the ones that I know by heart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to do what they did for us to be where we're at today. That's why I'm saying we can never forget them.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a two-way thing. The way I see it is, I get what you're saying. They didn't have to do this. They did this but if you really even break that down, to say, if I was in that position to say, I don't have to do this, but I'm doing this so that it can be better.
Right.
Well, that means you have to do it. It's not going to get better unless you do it. It's a choice that you make, yes. And I'm not saying we take that for granted. We definitely should not take that for granted. But on the sentiment of they didn't have to, they realized that they did have to.
Right.
Now it's on us to remember them.
Right.
But for being in that position, when you at your, I mean, if it was civil rights era and I'm a black person there, it's you got that choice of, I can deal with this, and yes, sir, boss, all of that shit. Or you could say, no, I have to stand up.
Right.
That's really where I was coming from, where they said they didn't have to. Yeah, they did, and they felt they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
got you.
That's what I meant.
No, I got you.
But with all that, this is where I was going. This was another thing I wanted to ask you about. Because we have Black History Month, right?
Right.
Which, before I go forward, I want to say that it sucks that we have to call it Black History Month, because that puts out there that this ain't really being taught any other time.
Right.
Which is what I hate.
Right.
And when you say, it should be year round, I completely agree. I feel like history class should talk about all of the history.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, so what about like Mexican, I don't know what you call Mexican History Month.
Uh-huh.
I don't the other races. People.
Yeah.
That. What are your thoughts on that?
So their history should definitely be taught year round as well, because their contributions to this country are just as important.
I was about to say Mexicans was here first.
Yeah.
Before we got dragged up over here. So I mean they got almost, no pun intended, skin in the game on that. You know what I mean? So
no, I got
it's
you.
Like I'll be wondering what people's thoughts on that, because you hear the black folks going hard. Especially, it's weird that when we get to Black History Month,
right,
that's when people really be like, "You need to be longer."
Yeah, right.
But at any other time, they don't.
Here's
where
that's coming from. I believe is that we've contributed so much to this country's culture.
Yes.
Like entertainment wise, music, movies. TV shows, sports, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that this country consumes as part of like entertainment or otherwise is rooted in something that black people have their hand in or started.
I agree.
If it wasn't for our black rhythm, we wouldn't have these TikTok dances every month. You know what I'm saying? Like but here's the thing, the ones that are famous are the ones that started by black people. You know what I'm saying? Like we contribute so much to this country. It's a shame that we are still getting killed in the streets by cops. We're still getting killed by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We're still killing ourselves. The cops are killing us. It's like we need to really understand that our culture is so valuable. We should treat it as sacred. You know what I'm saying? White people will take our culture, wear it as a costume, and then put it in the closet. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to black up, they'll take that costume right off.
Well, I'm not concerned with what I'm honestly, okay, and I think right now we're just I'm not concerned with what white people do. I don't care. Well, I do care. Let me not say I don't care. But that's not new. It's not new that white people take our swag and make it a swig.
Of course it's not new.
So with that, I'd be tired of complaining about it. I'd be tired of complaining about it because they continue to do it, and this is an important part that, hey, I might get backlash on, but if we're going to be honest, not all, but a lot of black folks don't even support black folk like that. The only time the support comes up is when somebody other than a black person is doing something, and now everybody's up in arms. I'm like, where the fuck y'all are here with the hate for other people? Where are you with the love for the people? And that's when we get into these conversations, not you and me, just me and anybody else, get into these conversations about support within the black community and then these other branches of Black History Month. You know what? It's so easy to stand out there on the designated day with your designated sign, yelling your little phrase, and then going on about your life.
Right.
But I get frustrated when that's exactly what it is.
Right.
So when we come to things like Black History Month and everybody's all so pro-black, I'm like, y'all know we black 24/7.
Right.
Black people, y'all black 24/7. Be amped and pumped and supportive about black culture and black history. Please be that. But be that all the time.
Right.
Don't become an asshole on February to everybody who's not black.
Right.
And then go back to shutting your mouth the rest of the time. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get that off my chest.
Oh, no. Get it off your chest, brother.
Because I'm going to tell you something what's real. Can I be real for a second?
Let it be broke. Break it
y'all,
down.
So I'm an entrepreneur. Shit's new to me. Okay? I said no to the corporate company. I didn't want to do it anymore because it didn't feel right in my spirit. And that might be that. I know that sounds foolhardy to some people. Look, my spirit did not resonate in that place good, and I had to go. Mm-hmm. And I believe that what God has for me is for me, and I'm going to get it.
Well.
You know what I mean?
Well.
With that being said, that God ain't never told me it was going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm out here working, tired, and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat because I've been up for a lot of hours. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of things to do once this episode is over still.
Right.
So I'll be moving, I'll be working, and I love everybody's energy about supporting black. Mm-hmm. But because I see it or lack thereof on a daily basis, and not just me, mm-hmm. because being in this space, now I know some other entrepreneurs. I'm making friends.
Right.
I see what's going on. And I'll be like, yo, y'all talk a big game.
Right.
When somebody else, I don't want to say repping for the culture, but when somebody else is doing something within or for or about that culture, mm-hmm. y'all be big mad about shit. But then you don't be nowhere to be found, and that shit get on my nerves. Mm-hmm. Especially now I gotta eat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm putting my work in, but I am hoping for support. Right. And it sucks to be like, black power, black support, all this shit, and don't nobody say nothing. Mm. Had to get that. I said it loud. Had to get that off my chest. Huh? That was not really on the docket.
You feel better?
No! But it's okay. Still, all that being said, Black History Month is at its root about our history and preserving that.
Right.
And I definitely think that should be a year-round conversation.
Until the government makes it a year-round conversation, it's our job to keep the conversation going.
Yes.
As well as for Mexican History Month or Asian History Month or Pacific Islander History Month or whatever history month you represent. It's your and your community's job to keep the learning going about your culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's on us. You know, we have to keep that conversation going.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so because this was a hot topic last year. Black History Month came, and at the company that I used to work for, which I no longer work for because they suck ass, the bad kind. It was weird because Black History Month came up, and they wanted to celebrate. Mm-hmm. But as soon as some little posters or whatever about Black history was put up on the walls at the office, mm-hmm. some emails was sent disapproving of the whole situation.
Here we
go.
So,
question for you.
Here we go.
How do you think a company, mm-hmm. I mean an incorporated, somebody that got backers and all that stuff, mm-hmm. how do you think they should address these cultural, significant cultural times that come up? Mm-hmm. So in our case, Black History Month, mm-hmm. or Mexican American, I don't know what it's called, guys, yeah. But that,
yeah,
or even Women's Day,
yeah,
things like that. What do you think the proper way for a company to address that is? Without anybody being offended, or is it just it's gonna happen?
I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's
a wrong way to do it. Don't let him lie to you.
Yeah, okay. But it's just one of those things where you know somebody's gonna have to have something to say. I mean, I've seen it where black people have made comments or hate about some Black History Month stuff. I mean, even like in places I've worked, I try to do some Black History Month stuff, and I done got, hey, well, such and such, we got an email or complain about your display or whatever. Can you tone it down? Or
that tone down. For y'all white folks watching, stop telling black people to tone down because we take it a certain way.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think every organization who employs people of color, need to give them their opportunity to embrace their culture, even in their workplace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just give them that voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you look at the NFL or the NBA, like the majority of their players are black, so true. They have almost like a responsibility to make sure that their players feel represented. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
No, I'm not sure it makes sense because you took it to the pro sports. I'm not sure that I get the correlation on the low level. Us at office, I get trying to make everybody. All right, well, in the NBA and NFL, man, they don't care. Listen, bitch, I'm paying you. Wear the suit. Stop. You can't dress like this. You can't do this. You can wear your T-shirt. They have strict, and they're like, we pay you too much for the bullshit.
True that. But like, where does the representation come in? Like, where, like, if you look at, remember when Allen Iverson was in the NBA and he wasn't wearing suits and stuff, and then the Malice of the Palace happened. And right after that, they was okay. We're having a dress code now. No more.
I was with that.
Really?
I was with that. I was with the dress code. Well, okay. First of all, let me just one by one. I was with the dress code because the style at that time was ass to me. Go back and look, because maybe I just had the foresight. But these big, huge, baggy ass jeans, and I was just like, yo, that don't even look like a comfortable fit. I don't even understand why you're doing that. Now, I wasn't upset by it, but I was like, y'all look crazy. Now, when they changed the thing and everybody started wearing suits, I was like, yo, I want some suits. Like, I'd wear that. That's literally how I saw it. Now, with the Malice in the Palace, jeez, you know what? Whoever that white dude was that started, I need him to be
that wasn't
jail.
That what happened?
Or the fan who
look real quick. What happened with that is like they didn't have a dress code before that, but then the Malice in the Palace happened, and they tried to blame the attitudes of the players, like our culture, they tried to blame that on that. Oh, so then after that, there was like, no, now we have to have a dress code.
I feel you. And that's okay. With that, I don't agree with that. Okay. Right. If that was the attitude. Yeah. But as far as actually going from what players used to wear versus to the suits, I much prefer the suits. It's just aesthetically a better look to me.
I totally agree, but let's make the decision to change the dress code not based on something cultural with black people or a specific event and just blame it on our culture, because that was us back in the day. With me, it wouldn't really matter what they wore to the game. See, like, just play the game and, you know what I'm saying, like, be you. You know what I'm saying? If I was the owner of the team, I would want my players to be themselves authentically.
That's what you see, but the problem is money, okay? Now listen. Money is fluid. It flows through a lot of hands.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
If you are the owner,
right,
you can say right now, sitting here in the Hustle Studios, I want my employees to be 100% happy, and that's all that matters, so be yourself. Fine. But here's the deal. When one of them NBA teams goes out, they have sponsors, they have backers, they have other people with other long money who now have a say to this owner of what they want. Not necessarily you have to, but what they want. I'm backing. I'm just letting you know this is what I want. Unfortunately, most of them is probably white and old. And what they want to see, well, like for instance, with the Fab Five, when they came in with the longer shorts, them old people wanted them hip hugging, ball squeezing shorts. That's the type of shit they want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And unfortunately, because money makes the world go round, that's gonna be the new rule. Whatever's coming down. So you can say all you want. I want my players to do this. Well, listen. This is where the money's being made. If you're gonna stand here, this is the rule. You got your choice. So with that, and you own an NBA team, and it was like, listen, because it was a league thing. It wasn't just a team.
Right.
It was a league thing. So now if you're a team owner and it's league wide, everybody got to address this, and this is what it is. You selling a team? You giving up? Or you taking a fine every time? Each player? Every game?
That's definitely tough.
See, but that's what's the reality is.
But I mean,
it's easy to say, "Oh, I do this." Okay, nigga, let's break it down then.
That's basically what they're saying. Nigga, wear the suit, or you're not gonna play.
Yes, and then niggas got a choice too. Am I going to wear the suit and play by the rules, or am I gonna go do my own thing?
Well, yes, so boss. I put the suit on for you.
And unfortunately, that's a reality. What?
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate that is the reality.
And I hate to sound like such a Sambo when we talk about this, but the thing is, when you talk about the professional sports in America, they're all ran by rich white folks. They all got their rich white folk rules set into place. Unless a rich black person come in, do his rich black person thing, and set up some new rules, that's what it is. What you gonna do about it?
I mean, so how? I mean. How
create
important?
Your own then, like LeVar Ball.
Yeah.
But he got railroaded because people didn't want to support him.
Yeah.
It was a black-owned business.
Yeah. That's where the support for black-owned businesses is definitely detrimental, because if we had black-owned businesses like that are as the size of, like, say, Nike or Microsoft or one of them big gigantic conglomerate companies, and they were black-owned, then you could have that wiggle room to be authentically black. But definitely, you're absolutely right that because there's so many old white men and women, possibly.
Oh yeah, women too.
Yeah, that have that long money. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a factor. Like, you definitely want your team, your organization to be successful. At the same time, with the culture of black people selling out to larger corporations just for money, and forgetting their black roots, you got that working against you too.
Absolutely.
So now it's a matter of, do you want to be an organization that backs your people, or is just in it for the money? Which
and that's the age old question. That still comes back to, you gonna take the check or nah,
right? Even
on the company side,
right?
Man, I have so much personal experience. I'm holding it because I have so much to say on this topic in a personal, but I'm like, okay. But that's the whole thing. And I'll say this: I'm gonna pull a Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Who's telling you that? Now, some people may completely disagree with what I'm saying. That's fine. But you might be saying, who the fuck are you to say this? I'll tell you who I am. I'm somebody that left a not too bad paying job because I didn't fuck with them like that.
Right.
I'm that person.
Oh.
So I can say what I want. But you can also be like, you're tripping, which in your world I might be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't even remember how we got here. We ain't nowhere near the
It be like that sometimes. But but happy Black History Month.
Hey.
And we are still, this is day 2? 3?
Day 3.
Yeah, it's the 3rd. Yeah. Day 3, yeah. It's February 3rd into Black History Month. So.
Yeah, so we're going to definitely talk some kind of Black history in every episode. I mean, we talk black every episode.
Yeah, but especially this month, because we're gonna highlight culture.
Yes.
Things we grew up with, things we prescribe to. You know what I'm saying?
Subscribe?
Whatever, how you say it.
Whatever. Okay. Speaking of growing, no, I'm gonna save you from that sinking ship. Come on, Tim. Okay. Speaking of growing up, let's talk about sitcom parents. Let's talk about black sitcom parents.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
So there are a plethora of black sitcom parents.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about which ones were great and which ones. I don't want to say here's messed up because we're never mind. Which sitcom parents were great and which ones were trash?
Okay.
I
mean, off the top, if we're talking about sitcom dads, Uncle Phil is definitely up there. That's got to be. Uncle Phil is definitely. Is there an argument for Uncle Phil to be the greatest black sitcom dad, even better than Cliff Huxtable? And we're not talking about Bill Cosby. We're talking about Cliff.
No, yes.
Huxtable.
Please understand we are talking characters here.
Characters, not the actual person. We're talking about the characters.
Okay, yeah. Uncle Phil's good because I'm trying to see if he checks. I feel like I should have boxes that I feel the character should check. Mm-hmm. He definitely, Uncle Phil did have one episode where he squabbled with Ashley's nemesis, her dad, when they fought.
I think you must have confused with your mama.
That episode is hilarious, he definitely checked off that box. He was funny.
He was super hilarious.
Yeah, he was. Oh, like when Will down at the pool hall, he's a hustler. He came down there.
Oh yeah, breakout Lucille.
Yeah,
I love that episode.
Nigga had a whole sandwich.
Uncle Phil was such a charismatic character just within himself.
Yes,
like he held down his household. He ruled with an iron fist, but he was also funny and loving at the same time. He took in a whole nephew and basically raised him like his own son. You know what I'm saying? Like you only a dad can do that. Like
I ain't never seen him give Will no money though. I don't know if that means anything, but
even if he did, I don't think Will would take it because Will's from the streets. He's about that hustle.
Okay, so we're gonna stay on this, but the other version that's coming out on Hulu. I don't have Hulu, so I can't watch it.
First of all, it's on Peacock.
I ain't got Peacock. I definitely ain't got Peacock.
Okay.
Second
of all, I'm definitely interested to see how they flip this, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air into a darker version.
I think I already get where it's going to go, but I'm interested to see the character development. Carlton looks like a villain in that. The dude's face is very villainish.
Right. Even in the actual show, he kind of was a villain towards the beginning. Because he was on Will's helmet about being from the streets. He thought he was better than him because.
Okay. So was Carlton a villain?
I say he was a villain at the start, and then he kind of converted to like a hero, kind of like.
Was Will a villain?
No, Will was not a villain. There's no.
I mean, he came on the scene because of a violent situation.
But that wasn't started by him.
Never said that.
But he didn't start.
All he said is, "I got one little fight."
Yeah, he got into a fight. But that doesn't mean he's a villain. He got into a fight and moved all clear across the country from Philly to California.
Hey man, because they were serious about that shit.
Okay, but that wasn't Will didn't start that shit.
Will was finna shoot him in his face. He had the gun. You saw it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
He had the blicky.
Look, he ain't a villain. No, that's self defense. That's self defense. He wasn't. Look at you. That's why. That's what happens when you go against the grain.
All right.
Anyway, Uncle Phil's definitely up there as far as sitcom dads.
What about Vivi's?
Who?
The Vivi's.
On Viv's?
Yeah. How are you rating them? All right. We need. Dang, I wish I had that whiteboard over here. Yeah. We gonna rate them.
We need to have like a tournament, like a March Madness type tournament for black sitcom. Move. Yeah.
All right. So what? Okay. So Uncle Phil, on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the best dad in the world, 1 being trash, 0 being the trashiest in the world. What are we giving Phil?
I don't see. I can't justify giving him anything less than a 10. Because I mean, he meant so much, not just to his own kids, but to his nephew, who he basically raised him.
I'm gonna give him a 9.
And Aunt Viv loved.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let's not get to. Oh wait, what?
Yeah, Aunt Viv loved her some Uncle Phil, and Uncle Phil was a big teddy bear represent for the big dudes, and he was still like had Aunt Viv on his helmet. You feel me? Like he has sex appeal as a dad. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of dad I want to be. That's just like he went to
comfortably yourself.
But look, he went to the cops and pretty much was like, get my nephew out and my son out of jail.
They in here.
And then dude tried to get loud with his wife, like, who you talking to though? Like that's what I want. That's what I want to be like. That's Uncle Phil, man.
Wait, I thought that was Aunt Viv who came in there and was like,
no, she was, but they both were. But Uncle Phil had to put that,
and he had that yellow sweater on too. Damn, why are they doing like that?
If you could cuss a nigga out in a cardigan sweater,
boy had the cardigans. Like that's a real fly cardigan.
You are black dad personified. That's a 10 for me.
So I'm gonna give him a 9. And I'm with everything you said. I just give a 9 because he already has kids, right? So he knows about parenting.
Right.
So I just felt with Will, even though it was a kid fresh out of in new water. Right. I felt like there were some things that happened with Will that I'm like, Phil, as the parent, you should know better. Like, you ain't got to be a dick to him. When Will was like, I need money for prom, and I'm doing all this extra work, I'm going to get a job, and his uncle played him like, you ain't get no job, you lazy bum. You just trashed him. Yeah. They end up going to eat where he worked at. And I was like, yeah, Phil, man, you was a sucker for that.
You right, because he did have a couple episodes. It was like, well, he could have just...
Where they blatant, and I get it, it's a TV show, but there was a couple times where the uncle blatantly just dogged him, and I was like, see, now as a parent, you should know. Come on, bruh.
But he did.
But he's definitely.
But he did
9.5.
But look, he did chew Will's own daddy out when he came back.
Oh man, loved it.
He chewed his behind all the way out.
He should have been the one that caught the hands.
He should have, but I mean, when it takes a big man to step into the place of another nigga that don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? And I've lived through that in my personal life.
Yes, you know I have too. That's so much to say.
That's another reason why Uncle Phil gets a 10 for me, because he pretty much raised another child like it was his own. You know what I'm saying? Will wasn't a product of a single parent household before he got to California, and then he had an actual father figure. And Will didn't know how to act because he didn't have a father in his life like that.
Will wasn't that bad.
He wasn't that bad, but wait, wasn't that bad? He went to the dinner. Reebok's unlaced.
Ain't it the same person? Ain't you the same person that be talking about authentic? Be yourself.
Right, that is him authentically.
What's wrong?
But all I'm saying is
I honestly, I remember the episode. Obviously, I remember the episode. I'm like, listen, if I'm throwing a party and one of my little, some I'm taking care of, they come and this is what they do, I would probably be so entertained. And maybe I'm a different breed. But let me tell you something. If I'm standing there with my little partners and my nephew come walking in and he got the cummerbund on as a bra, I'm cracking up. Saying, this nigga wow. and then he hit the ding 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 freestyle session, run it.
Right.
Ashley could have started rapping right then. Didn't have to wait for the prayer.
Right.
So honestly, I was like, in all things considered, Will was not a problem child in any sense of, I think, what they were trying to build. Like a troubled youth coming to no, it was a kid coming to live there. I thought Uncle Phil was a great, great, great positive role model. The only bad thing I would say is there were times where I was like, as a parent, I felt like you could have handled that better, and you were just like that towards him.
I got you. I got you. I agree.
But 9.5.
Okay, well, I'm giving him 10. That's the best black sitcom dad to me.
You know what? I should look at the rest, because if he's the best, I can't give him 9.5. Why do we have to start with him?
Let's see. You got what? Cliff Huxtable.
Okay. Cliff Huxtable. I'm sorry. You know what? Here's something. I love Cliff Huxtable. Russell Huxtable. Cliff's dad.
Oh, yeah.
I like Grandpa Huxtable.
Grandpa Huxtable.
Okay. All right. Russell, when he and his wife showed up to the barbecue and all the kids was fighting about strippers and stuff, and he was like, man, I had a fan dancer. She would give a little leg and shake a little back. Besame me so. I love Russell.
That's funny. No, okay. I like Cliff Huxtable. I just think that he wasn't really like, he didn't rule his household like with that iron fist. That was all Claire.
But he didn't have to.
That was all Claire though.
She didn't even have to. Only time an iron fist. I mean, there were times.
Right.
But when you say rule the house, it wasn't every episode where there was some discipline that needed to happen. Right. And it was very few and far in between. That show and their lifestyle that was set up was built so that it didn't need an iron fist.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? When Claire had to pull out the iron fist, that's because, Vanessa was drunk.
Vanessa wanted to go have big fun with the wretched.
Big fun. Oh, big fun with the wretched in Baltimore.
That episode had me in tears.
And what's the episode where I feel like it was Denise and Sandra got into like a fight and Cliff tried to break him up and they knocked him over and he rolled off the side of the bed and then he got up and looked around. Yeah. Oh man, Cliff was a great dad.
Right. Yeah, he was definitely up there.
And he did some things that I just see in me when Vanessa, when they were in the earlier days, he was saying to Vanessa and Rudy, he was like, "Come here."
Oh yeah.
Come here.
Here.
That
is the black experience. Who black? Look, if you black and watching this, get the camera.
See, but I need you to do that shit.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so y'all watching right now, if you black, comment under in this video if you ever experienced that. When you get in trouble with your mom or your dad, and they tell you to come here, and you like, nah.
But you be playing.
You know the whooping come. You like, come here.
And you take that inch step forward. They be across the room. You take that inch.
Boy, bring your ass over here.
I'm telling you, the parents, you just got. Now you're on number 28 of. Here.
Yeah.
That is there.
Yeah.
This is here.
Yeah.
So, and in that regard, that's why I love the Cosby Show, because in a lot of black households, before it got to the whooping stage, if it got there in your household, hey, it happened to us. But before it got there, that's where the Huxtables, their sitcom lived.
Right.
It was do this, and the kids would either do it or they wouldn't, and there was a little sternness would happen, but it would never go past that. I like that because it showed there is that side of us, as opposed to the one you see walking in the store and the kid touches the Reese's and the mom puts him in the headlock. And, you know, that's not, doesn't happen all the time, you know? So
yeah,
I love that about the Cosby Show. And of course the humor.
Because I love the Cosby Show with Theo and Rudy.
That was a good one. See, here's the thing about Theo. Theo, bless his heart, I'm so glad that they made him be dyslexic. Because Theo was a dumb motherfucker. Theo was dumb.
I don't think he was dumb.
Okay, you're
per
right.
se.
But he was a typical teenage boy.
Yeah, he was just a typical horny teenage boy. Yeah, he just loved him. So what was his girlfriend's name?
Justine.
Justine.
But before Justine, I was watching a clip the other day, and he was going out the back door. Cliff said, "Where you going?" He was like, "Going to play ball." He was like, "Out the back door?" He was like, "Well, I didn't want to disturb anybody." He said, "Uh-huh." It's like, "You do your chores?" He said, "Yeah, Dad, look, did the dishes, not one dish in the sink." He walked over, looked, he's like, "You're right." He said, "Did you start the dishwasher?" "You didn't tell me to." And so Cliff went over, he opened the dishwasher, and he looked in, he's like, "There's like chicken bones and mashed potatoes." You didn't empty the plate before you put them in there? "Well, you didn't tell me to."
Oh, I see what you mean.
I
see what you mean.
And unfortunately, that's real.
That's real.
You will give a kid a chore.
That is so real, bro.
They'll do the letter.
My kids today are like that. Like wash the like you tell wipe off the table. There'll be corn and chicken bones on the floor.
I wiped it off.
Like, did you vacuum? Like no. And then like, no, my job is to wash the dishes and wipe the counters. Like sweeping the floor is not my job. Nigga, it's in the same kitchen.
Just clean it. See? But that's why I like the Cosby Show, because they did a good job about handling that shit.
I totally agree with. I didn't even think about that point. That's a great point.
That's why it'd be up there. Cosby is a 10 for me. I'm sorry. Cliff Huxtable is a 10 for me. Claire Huxtable is a 10. Claire Huxtable's an 11. You know what?
That's Black Bomb personified.
Oh,
Claire
I
Huxtable
love Claire.
is Black Bomb personified.
She might be the best one on the list.
I think she is too. I got to put her at number one as far as black moms in black sitcoms. Oh yeah.
I used to love when she would talk to Elvin and get him right. She was like, "Well, let me tell you something, Elvin." I was like, "That's my mama." Yeah. Let me tell you something, Elvin.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing about black moms. Like, if you are a friend of her kids, she like my mom. My friends are considered her other sons because they've been our friends for years and they've been over our house. Yeah. If you've been over our house and my mom knows you and you are one of partners of mine or my brothers or sisters, you are the other child.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? You are the other child. Claire Huxtable, and she went through 2 different shows. She was on the Cosby Show and A Different World. She had a cameo in A Different World for like a couple episodes that she cameoed because she is just that good of a mom that she could be a mother figure to a whole another school of other black children.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, but I feel like she came in and, obviously she had to talk with Denise on that, but I feel like she was there for Whitley.
Yeah.
And
A Different World to me is, we might talk about as a whole, like sitcoms as a whole, but A Different World to me is the greatest black sitcom of all time.
Okay, we'll get there, though.
We'll get there. But,
a Cosby Show, so Claire gets an 11, Cliff gets a 10. The Parenthood, I'm going to be honest. Robert Townsend in that, I loved him, but I don't remember a lot. I remember he was a spacehead dad because he would just zone out 5 times an episode.
Yeah, no, I loved that show, but I got to give him like a good, strong 6.
I don't remember enough, so I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with that.
There was a couple episodes that he had that was super deep. Like he had there was this one episode where he had to confront a drug dealer, a kid bringing a gun to school, and his kid, the youngest boy, was using the N-word, and he had to like talk to him about, Oh,
that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong.
No, I would give Robert Townsend in The Parenthood a 6.
I'm gonna go with you because I don't remember it that much. I definitely don't remember the mom.
Yeah. What about Michael Kyle in My Wife and Kids?
Yes, Michael Kyle will definitely get. I gotta give him like an 8, 9.
Oh yeah,
8, 9. Comedy was there. You know what? I might give him a 10 because
Junior,
I think
just dealing with Junior. Junior had to be the dumbest little motherfucker in captivity.
That's what I'm saying. I think out of all of these, maybe Bernie Mac show, he might be the exception from what I'm about to say, but. At least Kyle, when he would joke with the kids and he would do things, it was, I'm teasing you because you're being dumb, but I'm your parent, so I'm not going to hurt your feelings type thing.
Right. I
love it because I feel that gives your kid a dose of reality. This is what's real. You know you look stupid, but you my kid, so I'm going to get you right. I'm with that.
I dig it.
And Tisha Campbell was thick in that show.
Man.
Okay, where
do you rank her and
as a mom?
As a mom.
I mean, she's not memorable in that to me.
It's stress. I agree.
And it's not. And My Wife and Kids was not a show that I watched religiously. I just know some stuff from it. So I don't have a whole lot to pull from her, but she wasn't that memorable in the show to me.
Okay, Carl and Harriet Winslow.
All right. So listen. I'm about to contradict myself. I don't know if contradict. Yeah,
I got you.
You might just want to hold it if it don't stay. Okay. So I think Harriet Winslow gets no respect. Okay.
Speak on it.
Well, I can't because here's why. Because I don't really rock with her either.
Huh?
Not that I don't rock with her. It's just, what did she do in that show?
Dude.
In the show, what was that? That Harriet's here.
It was because of her that they've got a show to
No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It is.
No, wait. I get that the creation of Family Matters started with that actress.
Right.
I get that. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the character Harriet Winslow. Did she really make an impact in the show?
I think so.
What?
Here's why. Because basically the whole show really was centered around the kids. And she was always their advocate when they fucked up. Like when they was going through shit, she was always the mediator, the person that always stood up for the kids. Always. Even Eddie with his dumbass and his dumbass friends doing dumbass mistakes. His dad, Carl, was there to like get the discipline, but Harriet, she was that, okay.
I guess I don't remember anything specific. Because actually, I know what you're saying, and I completely agree. I remember the music in the back and her saying, now listen, Laura, why didn't you just call us? That she kind of had a dry grandma voice. Come on, like the mom. What's her mom's name? Mama. I don't know what they called her on there. Ethel? Estelle.
I think.
But, okay, actually, I remember her for that, but there was nothing that stood out like a Claire Huxtable would. That's what I mean. There was nothing that really stood out.
That's true.
Everybody knows that was Urkel's show, and everybody else showed up as supporting characters. That's what happened.
I agree.
Let's see.
All right, James and Florida Evans.
Who are they?
Good Times.
Oh, Good Times? Uh-huh. I'm scared of James. I don't listen. He ain't a daddy I want.
Oh, but look, he a daddy that these little niggas need now.
See, but that's the thing, is I am an upstanding citizen. I ain't no little nigga. I don't need the discipline like that.
But look, my daddy was just like James.
Like, so was mine.
If hard working,
you're gonna choose one.
Right, hard working, provide for his family, wanting to make a better way for his family, like that rule with the iron fist, like.
See, and I think
can have fun, but will take control because he's the alpha.
So first of all, let me say, Good Times was before me, so that is not.
It was before me too, but I had to watch it later in life in order to get an appreciation of it.
I didn't. I'm cool, but I will say this: James, from the stuff I did see, definitely reminds me of my dad. Of all these on this list, the blue collar, hard nosed, and I think that's why initially we say them, and I was like, man, because I already had that look. I seen a black man, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I watched the episodes of Good Times where he got mad and it scared me. And I'm not even in the show.
That's the thing. I feel like I watched the episode and I literally watched it, and I had a flashback of my child got scared.
This is how you know James Evans is a black dad. He whooped another kid in the show.
Yeah.
He whooped somebody else's kid.
In the back room. Yeah, I remember that.
That ain't a black dad for you. He went to a whole nother state for a job and died in a car accident on the way to work.
Listen, my father, I witnessed when I was a kid and we had some friends staying over, and there were some people playing outside and knocking on the door. My dad was like, y'all stop. Don't touch that door. And one of my sister's friends, this girl too, white girl, we were all children, little white girl, decided, so I can do what I want in my house. So after my dad said, y'all don't open that door, she goes and opens it to see what's going on. My dad, I'm sure it was pure instinct. I'm sure he didn't realize it was a little white girl who did it. Picked up the TV guide. You remember the TV guide? He was like, didn't I say no? Threw the whole thing and hit the door, and I was like, you go look. She started crying and shit.
Oh my god!
Hey man, look man, stop! Don't be touching my door.
Oh my god! Let me tell you about my pops. My pops, he was. Okay, let me tell you what happened, because it wasn't even, and I feel bad for doing this. You know, my sister still gives me grief for this, but one time my sister got this cat, right? And my dad is a dog person.
Okay.
So we got a cat, and my dad let my sister have the cat, right? So the day or two, we go outside playing, and we go to the neighbor's house that gave us the cat originally. She had another cat, and my sister was like, I want this other cat too. So she took the cat as her own, and then me and my brother and my cousin, I believe, went back to the house, and my dad knew where we were going to get another cat. He just knew it because we were out that way, and my sister was with us, and we walk in the house, and my dad goes, "Where's your sister?" And we're like, and we just busted. All you had to say was, "Where's your sister?" We just let all the information. We told her not to get the cat, and he was like, "Oh hell no!" And she walks in behind us with another cat, and he goes, "Everybody get out of my house now!" I've never ran so fast in my life. All you heard was a herd of black children running down the stairs out the back door and up the street to the park. We left the house. Cat. We left. We ran. We was like, not me, not today. And man, my sister had to write. My dad had to made her write an essay about disobedience and everything, and gave her a whooping on top of it. I was like, man, my dad is not to be.
Well, we ain't never had none of that.
No,
we just had hands.
Didn't play.
We just got hands.
Oh, Pops gave us the hands. It's just we got to learn something after that too.
I feel. Well, that's the only people left I got off my list. I had sister, the dad in there.
I don't remember.
And he ain't even that.
He wasn't even.
And the Jeffersons. George Jefferson. Now listen, I don't know how he was as a dad because I don't know if he was a dad on there, but just as a old black man in the community, I fuck with him. The funky chicken, the way George Jefferson does it, is the best thing in the world. I implore you. I might even put a video right now. I might not too. So if I don't, go watch go to YouTube and watch George Jefferson do the funky chicken.
Man.
Oh, or watch a Lowdown Dirty Shame when he's doing it, and Jada Pinkett Smith is
that's
like,
right, George. You do that funky chicken.
Actually, that whole scene is great because then her and Angela almost get in a fight.
That whole movie is great.
Fuck out.
That whole movie is great, bro.
Great movies. All right, I had an interesting question that I saw posed, or it wasn't a question, but it was a statement, and I have a question. Black shows, like a black TV show versus a TV show about being black.
What do you think is the difference?
That's the thing. I was like, is there a difference? Now, I feel inherently yes. Off the top, I say yes. But then once you start digging deep, then you start to figure, well, where's that line? Of when it crosses to the other. So let's just give some examples.
Okay.
The always popular debate: Fresh Prince and Martin. Okay. Full black cast, both of them. I would consider Martin to be a black show. Dang, I don't know if this one counts because I consider Fresh Prince both.
Yeah,
I consider Fresh Prince to also be a black show, but I consider Fresh Prince to also be a show about being black.
Yeah, because I think they're running the same. They're one and the same.
You think?
I think they're one and the same. Black shows and shows about being black are one and the same.
See, but then how come that ain't the same for other races?
Like, give me an example.
Like a white show.
Like Friends.
Okay.
That's a white show, or is that a show about being white?
Friends is just living single. Living Single came out before Friends.
Basically, but that's what we're saying. We're saying, is a show like Friends, is that a show about being white or a white show?
Well, before I answer that, which I will, let me ask you this. Is Living Single a show about being a black show or a show about being black? Because Living Single is legitimately...
A black show.
Literally the same thing as Friends.
Yeah.
So, my question is, if whatever I say or whatever we decide Friends is,
right,
Living Single got to be the same thing. We can't say Living Single is a show about being black if Friends isn't a show about being white.
So, okay. So what would make a show, or what would make a black show just a show about being black if they have dealt with like issues only pertaining to black people?
That's what I feel.
Like racial injustice, or
I mean, or well,
something like that.
I don't because I saw it that time. I don't know because there aren't too many shows that will just be. We're about this race stuff. Like you have Blackish,
right? That's definitely I could see that show being about being black, not necessarily a black TV show.
See, and my thing with Fresh Prince is because the premise of it is so these black folks in this white area,
and would like the mix of like white people in the show, like in different situations, would that make it a show a black show or just a show about being black?
Most of the time, okay, if we're talking about Fresh Prince, I feel like most of the time that white people were in that, there was some sort of racial undertone to them being there.
Right.
So in that case, it would be a show about being black.
Right.
Because if they just came in and out and there was no racial undertone, then it's just a show. There's no, but every time a white person came around, Carlton's friends, the whitewash doing the old Christmas music, and Will and Jazz are like, bruh. Or the company partners, and they're talking all this fancy stuff, and Will's looking at the other black or his wife like, yeah, these white people. It'd be stuff like that. So to me, that's a show about being black in this area. Now, the adverse Martin, they were just living life. There was never a reference to being black, except when Martin talked about Pam's hair being bees. That's a very black thing. But
I think Martin is definitely a black show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the Fresh Prince is a show about being black.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because it's told from because Martin is definitely told from a black lens too, because it's definitely black and hip hop at the same time.
Well, okay. I'm not going to stomp on your theory or thought process, but I just feel like they're living life. They're telling. I can't even say they're telling stories. It's just whatever their day to day is. In other shows, again, when you have a plot that is centered, when you have plots that are centered around some kind of conversation about race, that's when it takes that turn. And I don't think Martin ever did that. Martin never centered on race.
They never had a racial episode?
And even if they had a episode, so what? Because they did like 100. So
I think that whole show was really just about like Martin and Gina.
It was just a black show.
It was a black show. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a black show.
So with that, what are some shows that are about being black? Because now it's like, well, I don't know.
Blackish is one of them.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
yeah.
I say a different world because they had a lot of episodes with racial undertones and like issues that are pertaining to the black community. Plus, it was a majority all black cast with, So I think that's a show about being black. So and that's the one thing I wish wasn't the case. Right.
Is especially for that show, A Different World.
Right.
It was such a good show.
Such a great show. One of the greatest sitcoms of all time, period.
It was like, and if I'm honest, as a kid, I didn't even get it was a black show. It was just a great show that came on after Cosby.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, well, this was obviously see, even now I want to say it's a black show, but it really is a show about being black in that situation.
It's both.
Yeah, because everybody was black. So if you're at a black college, well, it's a show. But in my mind, I'm like, to them, in that situation, these black people at this black college, it's not about being black. It's just about living.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You see why I'd be trying to figure out where the line is between a black show or we're just living. This is just a show.
Maybe there is no line. Maybe they're both one and the same. Because if you're living black, you're telling a story from a black lens.
Which take me to that question I had. What about a white person then? Is it a white lens? If Friends, again, is that a white show or is that a show?
That's tough because I know black folks that watch Friends still and can relate to it. But I know white folks. I know white folks who watch Living Single and can relate to it too. So I mean, it's definitely tough. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say black sitcoms are both one and the same. They're black shows and they're shows about being black.
But you don't feel the same about white shows?
Like you're talking white shows, you're talking shows like Seinfeld, Friends.
Any show that's not a black show. Even the Mexican Telemundo. Is everything on Telemundo about being Mexican, or is it just a show?
That's a good point.
That's
a good point.
Anyway, this is something I thought about.
Maybe we should interview somebody of the Mexican community so they can shine some light and represent.
It can't just be anybody from the Mexican community because
but
I need a Telemundo nigga.
Yeah.
I need somebody who can speak it.
You said Telemundo nigga.
I need a Telemundo
I'm putting
nigga.
that on a shirt. Telemundo nigga.
All right, let's jump real quick to Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
Oh, Janet Jackson.
Okay, so you watched the documentary?
I love anything Janet Jackson. Matter of fact, low key, I love Janet more than I love Michael. To be honest, I listen to Janet more than I listen to Michael. I listen to Michael. Don't get it twisted. But when it's every day, like if it's something that I listen to like every day that's on my playlist, it's Janet's on there.
Oh no, I can completely see listening to Janet over Michael because Michael's replay on a daily is not that strong. The value is not that because he was very 80s.
Yeah, very.
Janet has been smooth throughout these 40 years.
Right.
43 years.
But no, Janet, she's hurt.
So But the documentary. So here's what I loved and I hated.
Uh-huh.
What I loved and I hated was the same thing. The first episode.
Okay.
Was all about the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
I hated that because I was like, yo, we're here for you.
Right.
Miss Jackson.
That's what I thought. They're talking a lot about the Jacksons.
But here's the thing, and here's why I loved it. One, I am a Jackson 5
aficionado.
Yes. So any info you give, and I'm there for. But I also understood that everybody wants to know Janet's story. Janet ain't got no story without that root. So I'm sure she said, I'm going to pay homage.
Right.
And say, this is where it started. And then they weaved in, okay, I would be at rehearsals, and then this is where. But I think she made an executive decision, said, oh, no, my family going to get to shine.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad, y'all ain't going to be doing my dad like this.
Yeah. No, she's definitely all about her family. And I've never seen the inside of the Jackson house until the documentary.
Really?
Never seen the inside
of it. Oh, man. Well, because they got other things that the brothers been there. You got a DVD player?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I have the Jacksons, the show that they did right after Michael died. The brothers had a show. I bought it on DVD, but they got a whole bunch of stuff in there. I'll let you watch that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shit on there.
All right,
but it was a small.
Do you see how small that house was, bro? And they had Michael, Marlon, Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, Janet, Reby,
Latoya. You're missing one. Randy.
9 freaking kids.
Plus the two adults. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a living room, and a kitchen.
Bro.
And these niggas ate at the table at dinner.
But look how small that 2-bedroom was, though. That's the house, period.
Well, so some of the brothers, I think Marlon and Tito, they were in there. And Marlon said, bro, my garage is bigger than this whole house.
Bro,
he's like, it's crazy how we stuff.
If you wonder why they sung so hard to get out of Gary, Indiana, look at that house.
And I'm telling you, even as a kid, I understood knowing the Jackson story. I was like, yeah, Joe is a hard ass, and maybe he's a mean black man to a lot of white people. But that man said, what ain't finna happen is my kids joining in these gangs and these drugs. Because again, remember, Gary, Indiana, 3 times the murder rate in that city at that time.
Right.
It was destined that some of his kids was going to have something bad happen to him. He had 9. And he was like, all right, I'm going to be an asshole here because to save them from this. And that's what everybody so overlooks. And Janet said it perfectly when she said, discipline without love is tyranny. Yeah. And he said, and a tyrant, he was not.
He was not. Yep.
So
I had a brand new understanding and a brand new respect for Joe Jackson after that documentary, because I would have done the same thing if I'm in Gary, Indiana, and I'm living in a small house and I'm working in the coal mine, and all got 9 kids. We all are not about to get out here cutting up. We gonna do something with our life.
And I think that's the thing that the kids had to know he was. I mean, yeah, as a kid, you're just gonna do what you're told. But even let's say Jackie, the oldest, or Reby's really oldest, but the older could see. It's like, all right, we are living in a pretty fucked up situation. But this nigga buying us instruments and microphones and all this stuff. We need a bigger house. Yeah, he has got a vision to do something bigger.
Right.
And I am happy that everybody fell in line. Now, maybe you had to get beat in line. And I'm sorry. I don't want anybody to get beat. But as Janet and Randy said, don't act. This is how people was raised. It was not Joe Jackson, the only man in the world, whooping his kids.
Right. Right. And I also found it interesting when she was talking about her and Michael's relationship, like after Thriller, how Mike was like so distant and like pretty much an asshole towards Janet.
So I have theories.
Okay.
I have theories. I think around that time, Michael was a superstar, but Thriller is what pushed him somewhere else. And I think once he got pushed into this new area of life, I think he started to shut down personally. I think that's when his shutdown started, and he started to really go inside himself. Because as you may, and I'm not going into Illuminati or anything like that, but that when that veil is moved and you on that other side of fame and money.
Yeah.
That I feel could probably did something to him. Janet wasn't there. So now you going and sitting, that's my sister, I love you, but like I'm what'd he say after people get shot every day, be like, I'm different. I'm moving different, man. I got that hit album and I feel different now. I honestly feel like that's part of what happened.
That's crazy to me that he can treat his own sister like that even after a big album like that. I think that was crazy.
Wait, but what did he do after 3? I mean, all she said was he came in, sat down, and didn't say nothing, and then got up and left.
Yeah.
That wasn't enough for me to say he was tripping.
No, there's something just definitely wrong.
And the scream thing? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I have thoughts on that, too, because it was dumb, first of all. $7 million. When they were doing it, and I remember watching the E-Access and all this stuff, all of them like, oh, it's costing all this money. I was like, this is for what? What is this? And the video was great. Don't get me wrong, but $7 million.
Yeah.
Tripping.
Yeah.
Taking all these months to make.
Yeah.
But the way she described what happened, my only question was, well, Janet, that's still your brother, right? Why the fuck you ain't just call him and say, yo, nigga, what is happening?
Right.
That's my question. Don't say you couldn't reach out because you guys were able to get in contact with each other to do this shit.
Right.
So that was my only question. She said people was in his ear. I want to know. And I hate that her documentary made me want to know more about other people besides her.
Right.
Like, that was dumb.
Yeah. I think she did that documentary kind of bass backwards. You know what I'm saying?
I want Marlon to have a documentary. Marlon is my favorite Jackson.
Why you want Marlon to have a documentary?
I love Marlon. He's great. Oh, man, he gets no shine. He gets no love.
I want to see Tito's documentary because Tito is like, he's the coolest old black man of the. He's a hater?
Yeah.
Why is he a hater?
Because he don't like me. I met him one time and I called him Papa T because that's what everybody else called him. But in his defense, everybody else was his family. They called him that. I was like Papa T, and he just kind of looked and grimaced. And I was like, oh, Joe Jackson. Yeah. Looked like he really did. He didn't say anything, but I definitely, sincerely don't think I think he's a family man, and I think that's a family name that some random person just called me backstage, and he was not feeling that shit.
I watched after that documentary. I went and rewatched the Velvet Rope tour performance that he aired on HBO that time.
Yeah,
bro, Janet. I think Janet. You think Janet's overlooked when it comes to live performances as a female artist? Like, she's not brought up in conversation as much. It
was the Super Bowl that deaded everything. Because I don't think she was ever overlooked until she got all the hate, and then nobody talked about her ever again.
Yeah,
Janet's freaking amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Back to that Super Bowl. So I really wanted to see. I remember we had got. Oh, it was on the Say It Loud After Dark episode where we talked about it. But. Okay, so my question there that I had to you was, I was like, what was the goal when he said, have your nigga by the end of this song and pulled? In my mind, they didn't address it. In my mind, this was a choreographed thing. Have your nigga by the end of this song, Justin's supposed to go pull something. So my whole question was, what exactly was he supposed to pull? And when he pulled it, what was supposed to happen? Now, when I originally asked that, all you kept saying something that had nothing to do with the question I was asking. I'd have to go back and watch. But I was like, he pulled this. What was supposed to happen? Her nipple came out. I get her nipple came out. But what was supposed to happen if not the nipple?
I was saying it was in my mind, because I'm a logical thinker. If he was supposed to pull some off, I think he pulled too much off.
Okay.
I think she might have had like something under it, maybe like a bra piece or something that covers everything up, or something that's supposed to cover her whole titty up. Yeah. But he pulled too much, and the titty was showing.
Okay. So
it could have very well been a legit accident.
I can't, even after watching it, I can't see how it was anything other than an accident if her titty was not supposed to come out.
Right.
Because, again, who has a pocket right on the titty that's removable that the bitch can just hang? That is not something that people make.
Okay.
So, this was either planned as a motherfucker. Or it went wrong, but nobody ever said what the right was supposed to be. All that happened was, ooh, black nipple, cancel, which I didn't get. I got mad all over watching that.
Yeah.
I said, you guys, and even when it flashed, you had to hurry up, so obviously, mistake, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
Okay, TV regulations, you put this smut on, like, it worked with the whole show.
Right.
Like,
right.
That shit was whack to me.
Yeah, it was stupid to me too, and I think it was even doubly stupid to hear that Janet told Justin not to say anything. I mean, good on her. I mean, that's good on her soul. You know, that's made me love her even more because she's selfless like that. But at the same time, it's like you wonder now. You know why Justin ain't said nothing about it ever since then.
I feel you now. Oh, I guess I should get back on mic. So, here's the thing, though, man. Janet, I salute her for that. Because not only did she tell him, I'll take this bullet, she did it, and she shut the fuck up. She didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So, I'm not mad that she took the hit. I'm mad, and I'm not mad at Justin for not saying it. I wasn't mad at him before for not saying anything, and I'm not mad that I found out what really happened. But I'm strictly mad at everybody who was up in arms. That's the only thing I got a problem with.
Yeah.
A titty popped out. I don't give a fuck whose fault it was. It was a live show and some shit happened.
Right.
Why are you guys tripping?
Right.
That was my whole thing.
I totally agree. But I think it softens the blow on Justin knowing that Janet told him not to say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we gave Justin all the grief after that. Like, he should have owned up and apologized, and no apology, no statement or anything. But now we know that Janet told Justin not to say anything because she didn't want no drama to come up on him.
It was a firestorm, and Janet, being in the business as long as she's been, she's like, look, one of us gonna burn. It could be both, but Janet's probably her whole thing, which she kind of gave off. She was just like, look. If only one of us gotta die, be safe.
Right.
And I'm not mad at that. And I wasn't mad at Justin because, again, watching the whole thing, I was like, this was clearly an accident. Yeah. Would it have been cool for him to say something?
Absolutely.
Sure.
But, for years we thought he was just ducking and dodging the question.
You guys say weak. See, I don't think that. I didn't think he was ducking and dodging. Because, again, like you, logically, I know that life happens outside of these little cameras.
Right.
So in my mind, when a titty came out, I was like, well, they are obviously going to have a conversation.
Right.
Whatever they come to ain't really my business, but I guess we'll see how things unfold. Now, because it unfolded in a way that nobody knew the business, everybody decided they knew what was right, and it was Justin was an asshole. Now people are backtracking like, oh, well, I didn't know. You didn't have to be a jerk in the beginning, especially since ain't none of it our business anyway.
Right. Right.
But with that, I'm not mad she took the bullet. I think that was some real shit.
Yeah.
Because she ain't have to. You want to talk about not having
She a real one for that one.
I don't know if I would have took it for Justin.
Oh, hell no. He's still throwing under the bus.
Tell you, if me and him did a show, and he said, I'm going to have you naked by the end of this song, and he pulled something and my titties came out, oh, no. Me and him, forever beef.
Oh, yeah, we're boxing right there on that stage.
Live on stage
in front of the Super Bowl cameras.
Super Bowl
everywhere.
boxing match.
50-yard line, I am whooping your ass.
Don't cut the cameras. Leave it on. You know?
Hilarious.
All right, so let's talk about one more thing before we
One more thing before we wrap it up.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
So what we want to do is we want to highlight people that we think are the GOATs in whatever it is we're going to be talking about.
Right. We're going to have our own Black Rushmore.
Yes. Actually, I thought about calling it that, Black Rushmore. Let's call it that. Black Rushmore. So this week, we are talking about villains. Who are
Black movie villains.
The top villains.
Those villains in those movies that you just like a villain that made you hate the person that played the villain. Like
yes.
just your top four hated.
I ain't gonna lie, this was a rough one for me because then I started thinking, I was like, well, who was a villain?
Yeah, absolutely rough.
We need more black villains.
Yeah.
Stupid. But I'm gonna say this: my number one, off top, Alonzo from Training Day. You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay. I can finish with you. Shoot program, nigga. Oh, man. Come on, man. Alonzo definitely
burn this motherfucker down.
With the cigarette in his mouth up there. He got to have the cigarette while he's up on there.
He's like, all right, Jay, I'm going to get this money.
Yeah. He's like, you shot me in the ass.
Shot me in the ass, Jake. All right. Jake. You want to go to jail? You want to go home?
I hated how he kept saying his name. In any movie, when anybody keeps yelling somebody's name, what do they expect is going to happen?
I'm saying.
He's walking away with the money. Jake! Jake! When he's like, okay. And he come back, what are you expecting him to do? I never got that.
Wait, okay, so was Denzel as an American Gangster not more villainous than Alonzo in Training Day? Because he shot Idris Elba in the middle of the street.
He did. Thug shit. But I think he was more gangster in Training Day because he was a cop.
Uh-huh.
See, he had the protection. See, Frank Lucas had his boys.
Right.
And they were paying off whatever cops were pay-offable. But he was the cops.
Yeah.
And he was going in people's houses, digging up their flows, shooting them, all kind of shit going on.
Remember that shit, though? He was like, I didn't know you like to get wet, though. Sherm.
Yo.
PCP. That's what you had. Like, what?
My favorite thing was when he had old boy Snoop throw up the stuff, and he was like, "Lucky I don't make you eat that shit." I was like, "Damn."
He said, "Yep, Jimmy Crack Corn was that 1, 2, 3."
Boy, he was a cold one in that.
He's cold. Yeah, he's definitely in the Mount Rushmore, bro.
Yeah. All right, who you got?
I'm nominating Nino Brown from New Jack City. Is that what this is about?
Nino Brown. Okay.
Look, Nino Brown ain't. I don't think anybody on this list was more evil.
He was
pure evil. He was evil, bro. He took over a whole projects in the middle of New York City. Cops ain't do jack.
Can't do nothing.
He held a little girl as a freaking
shield. Human shield. He when he had the naked man walking with the shotgun. Oh man, had his dick all out.
Cancel that bitch. I'll buy me another one. Come on, bro.
I'm gonna tell you what. When he said when him and G Money was beefing, and G Money was like, "You stole my girl, man." Well, his response
is that what this is about?
He's like, "I don't give a fuck about that hoe bitch." I said,
bitch.
"Damn."
He said hoe bitch. I mean, you say a hoe bitch, you are definitely a villain.
And he's like, "If my brother's keeper, hug, yes, pop, shit." Yes, absolute villain.
No, Nino Brown is definitely in the Mount Rushmore. Seriously.
Never liked you anyway, pretty motherfucker.
Pretty motherfucker.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Yo, Pookie, clean yourself up, man. I might give you a job.
Crack, just keep calling me.
I fucking love New Jack City. I love New Jack City. Oh, let me just show a little appreciation for one of my favorite movies of all time. That movie should definitely have gotten an Oscar or some sort of recognition, because that movie front to back is just one of the it's my number 2 of all time. Like, real talk, I love everything about this movie.
I hated Ice-T's hair in that movie.
No, the dreads.
The dreads wasn't it. Especially when Nino got shot, when the old dude shot him.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I hated that whole scene. I love what happened, but I hate when he got shot and Nino just kind of looks and...
Oh, yeah.
It was one of them slow motion, like, okay. But also, I hated Ice-T when he looked and he had the glasses and he just turned and walked away. I was like... Nigga, you should have shot him while he was laying in the trash 2 days ago. He said, "I want to kill you so bad, my dick's hard."
Oh, that's pause. What the fuck?
Yeah. Hey, that's what he said.
Hey, man.
That's what he said. All right. So, okay, I'll agree with that one. So I'll put that one up there. So right now, are you cool with Alonzo?
I'm cool with Alonzo.
Okay, Alonzo, Nino. Let's see. Who else do I got? Let me see. Oh, snap. AWACS. AWACS from Menace to Society. Now, listen. A lot of people might go old dog, which I'm not going to say is wrong.
Right.
But that nigga AWACS. Again, remember when he was introduced, Kane was like, he done put in so much work. He like to just sit back and watch us do dumb shit. See, that's the villain, because now he's a string puller now. Because he's done it all.
Now he's an instigator.
You know? And again, he ain't even do a whole lot in the movie.
No, he didn't.
But when it was time to run down on some folk, I ain't gonna lie, that whole time, Kane didn't even kill nobody. Kane was talking about, I just know I can kill again. He didn't kill nobody. I think Old Dog killed the first dude in front of the burger place. Then the dude, Kane shot him.
Yeah.
But he was still running.
Yeah.
And then AWACS killed him. So I was like, Kane, you ain't even really killed nobody. But regardless, you were there, so you get prosecuted. But
he walked up on
AWACS,
hey, home, you need some help?
Bro, the way he did it, though. Because the man, he reminded me of my dad when he was coming out like this. He had one of these. And he came out because like, hey, homie, you need some help? He sounded like a crackhead who really wanted to help. And then pulled out that big-ass gun.
Desert Eagle?
Put it in this man's ribs and just blew all of it. And I said, now that was a scary scene. And then what did I say? He said after that, when he said, come on, niggas. I said, ooh, he off on to do another one, ain't he? Come on, niggas. We got to go. I was like, damn.
You home, you need some help? That's funny.
Motherfucker.
Now, I see your AWACS.
Okay.
And I raise you Debo from Friday.
All right. So that's good and bad. See, because Debo's great. Debo was a great character.
Right.
Very intimidating.
Right.
But he was intimidating in the you'll live to fight another day aspect. As AWACS seemed like he'll kill you just because it's Tuesday and he wanted to see some tomfoolery.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But Debo was an intimidating person that could just walk up, though, and you can give him, he would demand. Oh, man.
What happened?
The battery gonna die.
Oh.
That's okay. So you said Debo versus AWACS?
Mm-hmm.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, you for it.
Rochambeau?
Yeah,
right,
just best out of one.
Wait,
1, 2, 3, shoot.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Wait, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
You got it. Debo. All right. And one more. You asked the interesting question if Jody from Baby Boy was a villain.
Oh, yeah. So is Jody from Baby Boy a villain?
He's a scrub.
He's definitely a scrub. I mean, he hit old girl in the face and then went down on her. Right
that was the weirdest.
That's some villain
not
stuff. Not
okay-ish thing.
Yeah, and then like he was beefing with Melvin and like just lazy, like just.
I don't think if he was a villain. I think he was a punk. I don't.
Yeah, but he had aspirations to do better.
That's the thing. Well, but his better, he was still stealing.
Very true. Very true. But I mean, it's still a hustle, though.
It is.
No,
but I'm not gonna put him up there because we have to question if he's a villain. He's definitely not gonna be on the top.
Okay, but no. So, but who I think should be up there is Mary, Precious Mama.
Okay. Still haven't seen Precious. I didn't want to do it to my soul.
Look, Monique did Mary so good, it made me hate her in real life. Like I was like, I think it made a lot of people hate her because Monique is not loved. She did that. Look, she deserved that Oscar, bro. Real talk. Like she deserved every piece of that Oscar for playing Mary. Like that was she scared the mess out of me. I was like, ooh, okay.
I feel,
bruh.
Well, okay. So I haven't seen it, so I mean, but I know she did great, so I will not at all count her out. But here's what I'm bringing to the table. Octavia, so I see her, and I raise you Octavia Spencer. Now, she did Ma, where she was killing the white kids, which is weird. I haven't seen it, but I didn't. But I did see The Help.
Oh, okay.
And in The Help,
all right.
Octavia Spencer made a pie out of shit.
Well, that's not...
And then gave it to the people... Finger licking good on them folks.
That don't make her a villain, though, bro.
If somebody did that to you, you wouldn't think of them as a villain?
Okay, that'd be...
See? It ain't a villain until it happened to you.
Okay, but I mean...
But I'll give you... No, I just wanted to say that. I'll definitely give you what's her name?
Mary.
Yeah. So we got Alonzo. Debo.
Mary.
No,
Nino Brown.
Nino
Brown, Mary. And then you got one more.
Wait, Alonzo, Nino Brown,
Mary.
No, we put Debo on there.
Oh, did we put Debo on there?
Because we did Debo or AWAX.
Oh, okay, that's right. Debo and then Mary from Prejudice. Yeah, that's what for.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but AWAX is going to be the guy who's carved a little smaller onto the side. With the thing that says, "Come on, niggas."
You dog.
All right, man. Well, I think that's a good place to stop it here. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank y'all.
Please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. HustlerMentality.com. Get your Say It Loud merch. Get your Hustle merch. Get your I Am Black History merch. All of that. HustlerMentality.com.
All that.
Check y'all next